Good morning. Almost 8 o'clock. Are you receiving? That's all I need to know. That's a yes. Okay, great. Okay, let's leave it here just for about 30 seconds and then we're going to get going. We're going to start to move. So this is your 30-second preparatory warning. This is the awkward silence that I am going to get used to. Okay, whilst people are still getting excited, 10 minutes. The thing to think about, sitting or standing, what is your preferred position? And I'll be talking about both. It's our first session of 90, so there's progress to be made. We're going to start, it's 8 o'clock. At this point I'm going to probably take my glasses off. Good morning, welcome to this first session. My biggest challenge is to not peak too soon and make sure that I do what I said I would do, which is give you a 10-minute movement snack. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to dive straight in, and this morning I plan to show you and lead movements, mobility movements, targeting all the key joints and muscles that we work in everyday life. Okay, so please select your position, sitting or standing. I'm going to talk more about this in our lunchtime session, but for now, the most important thing is we just move. So I have a chair here, hoping you can see that I'm slightly forward in the chair, towards centre, so I can lift up and support my posture. If your preference is to stand, then please do so. This is what we want, time on feet if at all possible. So if you're standing, you may need some support by way of a table or a piece of furniture. And you may decide to switch between seated and standing. And over the next 90 sessions, that's something we can look to progress. Here we go. The most important thing, the right pace is your pace. So have a look at me, but do find your own way with your rhythm and movement, speed and pace. So just sitting upright or standing upright, which is going to start just to move the feet. Okay? In standing, it's exactly the same. Pick a pace that's comfortable for you. And here, if you can, think about not only your upright position through the posture, but how your feet are moving, your feet and your ankles. And if you're seated or standing, you can have a glance down and look at this. So we're looking for the feet and the ankles to be moving, okay? So try to avoid flat feet. Find a pace that's comfortable for you. We can bring in a relaxed upper body arm action here in standing. If you're seated, we can do the same, have a go. There's lots of variations on bringing in the arms and the upper body. This march, this foot pedal is designed, we call it a circulation booster, just to increase the circulation and get us ready for movement. Here's the first mobility movement today. It's going to involve the shoulders. To state the obvious, we need the shoulders because we have arms to use in everyday activities. So in seated and in standing, we're going for a raise, a roll, and a back and a down. Let me show you sideways. And in seated, it's the same. Find your own pace for this. I'm going to come up close so you can see it again. And we're really looking to open the chest here. This movement is in the active calendar. And in here we talk about choosing just once, 3 times or 5 times for these mobility movements. Okay, so that's the shoulder rolls. Having moved the shoulders, now we're going to just do a little bit more around the neck and the head, okay? So this one is head turns, slowly to one side, come back to the centre, take a moment to pause, and then the other way. So maintaining the mobility in the shoulders and the neck is important. We need our heads to move and turn to see where we are going. Pause in the centre each time, and you may want to adjust your posture in the middle also. Once, 3 times, or 5. Let's go back to that circulation boosting march. Again, as tall and upright as is comfortable for you, moving the feet, lifting the knees just a little bit, but what I really want is ankle movement, and also think about your feet and your toes. In standing, if you're confident, just go for this, just release the arms, march on the spot. You could even choose to have a walk around the house in these little marching snacks. Okay, ready to move on? The next movement is another neck movement. I need to turn sideways for this so you can see. This one, have a look. I'm going to come closer so you can see. As you can see here, my head just eases back. This one is, again, how to improve the mobility to actually position the head where we want it to be, which also impacts on our posture and our confidence in standing. So one more time, just so you get my best side, okay, here. Take your time, the right pace is your pace. Okay, moving on. We're going to involve now the trunk, the big bit in the middle of us all, and this is really important. This is the bit that holds us upright and also turns and moves for all our functional activities of daily life. We're just going to take some sideways bending in the chair. Make sure your buttocks stay firmly on the chair and both feet are flat on the floor. Okay, so you do need to have a hip walk forward. You're on the short side. In standing, it's the same. So get a position that you feel comfortable and confident in, and that probably means feet a little bit wider. Okay, and then it looks like this: a bend and a return, a bend and a return. Let me show you that in seated. Keep your backside on the chair. The great thing about these movements is you decide how far you want to go. And we're looking to build over time. This mobility will improve over time. Let me do a few more. Take a bend and come straight back up to seated. Take a bend and up to seated. You may want to put your hands on the side of the chair if that makes you feel more confident. And in standing with some support, it could look like this, or it could look like this. Okay, pick 1, pick 3, or pick 5, and just move to a range of movement that is comfortable for you. Let's return to some more circulation boosting movements. So we have the march in sit or in stand. And we can bring in an arm, 1 or 2. Steady pace, steady pace. Keep the hand on the support if you need. And remember, there's lots of other options that we can use to support upper body, arms and shoulders. So just select one, have a go at all of these. You can watch it later and see how you feel, okay? The next exercise is a trunk twist, and this one is also in the active calendar, okay? Same position, buttocks firmly on the chair. Keep your buttocks on the chair. Feet firmly on the floor. And if you're in standing, strong upright position, feet firmly on the floor. Looks like this in seated. I just take my time to turn and then I come straight back to centre. Pause here. Let's come back round this way. And how does that feel for you? Have a think about, as you turn, what are you feeling? What's happening? And that's just so that you can start to learn about how this movement feels, and most importantly, over time, that you can acknowledge and feel that it's improving. In standing, hands on a support if you need, just relax the arm, keep the fingertips on the chair if you want, just take a turn and come back. Take a turn and come back. Move at your own pace. Feel comfortable in these movements. Okay, so that's our trunk twist. The next one is for the back, the lower back, and it helps us remain upright and hold our posture in an upright position. I'm going to turn my chair directly sideways so you can see this one. In seated, it looks like this. From your normal posture, extend a little bit taller, more upright. You may feel, if you put the backs of your hands just on the lower back here, this can help guide this movement a little bit more. In standing, we're here. Close to the support without touching. One hand to side and then again extend and release. Hands can come here if you want to. Again, select your number. Just once is a great start. 3 times if you can. 5, even better. And if you feel that you can do a couple more, do so. We're after the quality of the movement. We just want you to feel how your joints, how your body can move if we spend a little bit of time thinking about it. The last mobility movement of our morning snack today involves the ankles. Critical, really important. There's a few options here. I'm just going to show you 2 today. And we can get excited about all of the progressions to come in the next month. Have a look. So in standing, I'm going to show you this one first. Sideways so you can see. Have a glance at your feet if you need to. Use the support if you need to. Place the heel on the floor and then we just move the foot. So from toe to heel, and you'll see that my hips and my knees are moving as well. Let me show you that in seated. Forward in the chair so I can get both feet on the floor. Hold on if I want to for a bit of confidence. Glance down so I can see and learn what my feet are doing. And the same thing here, heel and toe. And I'm really trying to point the toe to the floor and then the heel. This is how we walk. So we're trying to improve the movement in the ankles to help with walking. Alternatively, if you walk your way back, so you're all the way back in the chair, comfortably, again, just lift the foot off the floor very slightly, have a glance down if you can see, and then we can point the toe and pull the toes back. Point the toe. This is my foot, by the way. Okay? A couple of times. Those are all of our mobility movements for this morning snack. Let's review. Okay, have a think. So the first thing we did was pick our position, either in sitting or in standing. have some solid support, just for a bit of confidence if you prefer. If you're happy in standing, all of these can be done in standing. There are many reasons why you may decide seated is best for you. That's okay. So we started with our shoulder rolls. Just review this with me now if you want to. Here's the shoulder rolls. 1, 3 or 5 is great. Then we did the head turns. With control, your pace. Little pause in the middle. Turn and release. Have a little release and relax. It's okay to slump in between. We're still building the strength and endurance in our posture muscles. Then we did these movements where we just press the head back. Okay. Then we did the side bends, remember? So we went down to the side, paused in the middle, and then went to the other side. And then seated, it was the same. You can give yourself some support if you want to. Just a little bend, sliding bend, back up to the centre, and change. Then it was the trunk twist. So we're taking the upper body, the trunk, through all of the movements that we pretty much use through all of our daily activities. Improving these movements directly improves our activities throughout the day. That's our trunk twists. Then we have the back extensions. Here, extend and lift. Keep looking forward here. In standing, exactly the same. Get a stable, steady support, and then extending back. And our last one was the ankle activator. This one also is in the active calendar. So we had the heel-toe action. Have a look and really have a think about, are your ankles moving? Or we have the alternative in the chair to take the toes back and press forward. In between all of those, we had this circulation boosting movement with or without the arms. I showed you a couple of options on those today. If you know you're steady and confident in stand, that's always the way to go. We want to be up on our feet as much as we can to break up this sitting time and just get ourselves ready for the day. That, everyone, is our first movement snack. And I think it was 10 minutes. I'm frightened to look at the clock. So have another go at those while I go away now if you want to. So we're going to pretty much do this routine and build on this routine every morning. If you have an active calendar, 3 of today's movements are in here, in March's section. Okay. In addition to having a look at these videos again, the key to all of this is perhaps changing our routines, having a go at something new, and sometimes visual cues can help us with that, and ways to log our progress. If you have a calendar, if you've printed one off, I've made mine here. I've added these 3 boxes here. We've done 1 session here today, so we can tick off the 3 movement bouts. Or if you have some crayons and a bit of flip chart, you can make a bigger one. This is one I made earlier, and I'm now proudly going to tick that we've done our first session of 90. Here's my parting thought. Every movement counts. Work at your pace. Think about your movements. Do what you can. The most important step is the first one. I'll see you at 12 o'clock, where we'll be talking about strength and balance. So this morning we focused on mobility. At 12 o'clock I'm going to talk more about strength and balance. If you have one of the calendars, have it open on the very first page. I'm going to talk about start points, progression, and how we help ourselves to motivate ourselves over time. Tell me how all that felt for you. I read all of these comments. I'm so excited for you to be joining me. Thank you so much. Leave any comments in the place down below. After today, all of these videos will also be uploaded on to YouTube. See you at 12. Thank you very much. Goodbye from the dining room.